And we are live. Welcome to the David Starlyte Show. And another week has gone by, another week has swept by. So great to see old friends, new friends, and everyone else who wants to share in this space and this energy. It is about uplifting and transforming, yet being present, grounded, and also exploring ideas. All about exploring ideas with an open mind, with an open heart. It's always a little bit different what comes out, what is channeled, what is shared with the group, what people experience, and everything is co-created. Marianne says, good morning, Marianne, and great to see you on the show. And Kimmy says, good evening, David. Welcome, Kimmy, and great to see you. Where are you in the world? Amantha says, hello, great to see you again, Amantha. Welcome to the show. And if anyone is called to share the show, please do. Debbie is quite busy. Good question. Where is Debbie? And I'm actually going to call her today. Last time I spoke to her was about a month ago, and she was just very busy with her book and with her family, and also support. She's just been through a lot of grief with friends passing, and also supporting them through that. And she's been quite busy with that role. So it's I think taking up a lot of time and energy. How are you, Marianne? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. And how are you, Kimmy? How are you, Amantha? And Kimmy says she's great. Thank you, Kimmy. Well, that's really good to hear. And how's everyone experiencing the collective energies? This, I guess, the polarity, the division, the entertainment, the parody, the dance of everything that's going on. How's the construction? Well, today things are quiet. So far, so good. So let's let's keep that energy. I was in a meeting this morning. The whole morning, or a good part of the morning, was in a meeting about a new consciousness retreat, shamanic based. So very interesting explorations of consciousness, and that's the invitation to develop that concept for people open to explore consciousness. And there's not just ayahuasca, there's mushrooms, there's peyote, there's different ceremonies that in a ceremonial sense can be extremely powerful. Jamie says, hi and welcome to the show, Jamie. Great to see you. And Marianne, how's the construction in New York? How is the construction going? Always upgrading the energy, realizing that conflict is almost like a play, like a game, and it can suck us into its vortex. We don't connect that way with conflict. It sort of breaks things down. And I have noticed there's people on social media do play with social media on occasion. And the reason I stopped going on social media was this polarization. People who share hatred and think that they're doing good, think that they're virtuous by sharing hatred, war, conflict. Their idea of virtuosity, or their idea of, oh, this is good. This is virtue. I don't know, virtuosity, maybe not the right word. Sharing virtues. Oh, look how bad this is, or look how bad this people are. And it usually descends into racism, into anti-Semitism, into one of these, morphologies, one of these kind of negative, hate-filled things, whether it's homophobia, whether it's racism, it tends to go in that direction. I don't believe in denying reality, and I do believe there's real wars, but we've just got to be careful what's true, why things are happening as they are. The grand scheme of the, one source, the one force, what the the soul contracts are. And it generally helps just to stay a little bit distant from war, a little bit neutral as well. People love to demonize certain characters, and all this demonization, you just remove yourself from the human being. They become a label. And I was dialoguing with a cousin, and there were people I mentioned. I won't go into their names, and he had a list of words that demonized and decharacterized or dehumanized each person. So it was like racist, misogynist, transphobe, I don't know, something like that. And the person became a parody, or not a real person, but just a label of which diminished that person. I don't believe it, any of the people we were discussing really you could easily label. Some people are not very easily labeled. We are all complex characters. Marky says, I have a question or maybe two. How is John feeling? I'm with my daughter's SSI. How much will I get, Marky? February the 25th. Marky, can you please learn to use full stops with the greatest kindness and compassion, Marky? Are you aware of how you're writing? And it would really help me to understand what you're saying. And please, is it just that you just didn't learn how to put full stops or periods? Is it just how you think? It's just a flow of consciousness, a stream of consciousness. Maybe you could put I know these things, these straight lines, or some kind of break. You could even write break, or separation, or bracket. You could use brackets, or numbers. What about numbers? That could also work. So please do try to just realize when you're communicating that it just helps to. It's a bandwidth. It's a frequency. It's a wavelength, and so how it's interpreted is how it's received. It's like how can you calibrate or recalibrate in a way that it's going to be received. So that's just, I think you're kind of just like a free flowing person. So it's not which is a beautiful quality. It's just sometimes to refine that or harness that or communicate that in the best possible way to get the best possible results. So it's just caressing that or conducting it in a way that will produce understanding. And Neil Bill, I don't know how to say that, says, hi, welcome to the show. What's your name? And where are you from? Marianne says, not much in my area, more infrastructural work, electric. So how are we electrifying the world? How are we going to produce energy for the world? And I'm excited about all the new technologies being developed, the free energy Tesla devices, and how are we going to produce energy? I know nuclear is getting more popular. There's certainly incredible technology using uranium and producing that kind of power. There's batteries, of course, a lot of battery technology, a lot of technologies using rare earth minerals. That's got really popular, critical metals like molybdenum, and I can't even remember all of them. They're kind of out there, and it's kind of interesting when you remember the periodic table. Anyone studied the periodic table recently? Amanda says, if you can answer, if not, it's okay. my 2-year-old granddaughter woke up in the middle of the night and said she's seen her papa drown in the water, and he was asking for Nana, which is me. Does that mean? So Amanda, also, if I could ask you to use periods or full stops, which will really help people like me. If you can answer my 2-year-old, so kids are connected to spirit. He passed away 2 years ago. So kids are connected to spirit, especially before 3 or 4. Kids just see spirit around. Rare earth minerals won't last forever. I'd rather see solar panels. Yeah, I don't think that's a good one, Marianne, although, of course, the power of the sun is virtually limitless or infinite. But the technology, the energy and wastage and pollution that's produced from the solar panels is problematic because they don't last long and it just becomes very destructive and polluting. So we just got to be always careful, not just throwing out just what is the practical elements involved. So yeah, I think it would be interesting if there was technology that wasn't so poisonous, so and poisoning the planet. So solar panels definitely not a good one. Hydrogen, hydrogen I think is interesting. Wind doesn't seem to work. That's not good at all, wind, because of the kills all the birds. So it creates a lot of destruction. Also, what people do is they'll cut down a whole lot of trees to put up the windmills or these wind devices. They'll just remove all of the trees, which is incredibly destructive. Never take away life unless there's a real purpose for that. And always be mindful that you are destroying incredible wisdom, incredible gateway to life on this planet, the trees that produce oxygen. So solar panels, no. And I would say the wind, no. So much of this is deception, people trying to produce profit out of these kind of things. But we always need to get really practical. How long do these last? Do they pollute? Are we polluting more by using them? And often it just turns into something destructive. I know there's one that was all used the word biofuel, I think, or bio something, and they were just burning trees. They were just cutting down all these trees and burning them and calling it biofuel, pretending that it was earth friendly, pretending that it was, oh, this is really good, we're helping the planet. Burning trees, so that's quite a common one, burning trees. So that's not good. So I think virtue signaling is a real problem, people pretending to be good when they're really not, and can be so deceptive and misleading. We really have to do our homework and research to find out what is real and what is not real. And coming back to, let's just go back to Marky. So, okay. I'm with my daughter's Cece. How much will I get? I'm not sure what you mean, Marky. Amantha, if you can answer, if not, it's okay. My 2-year-old. So I feel like this dream is symbolic, not literal. It's metaphoric. So your granddaughter's feeling the loss subconsciously. She's feeling the loss, and this is what she's seeing in her dream. So it's her subconscious processing this this loss. So that's what I'm feeling drawn to. Amantha, she's processing the loss in this way. So I don't see it as being literal. I don't think she's literally. I think it's how she's processing it. But they are showing me that there was a breathing issue. So there is a literal component. Lungs. So there's a literal component with the lungs. Yeah. So she's seeing that she's seeing something real, but also something. The purpose of it is to process that loss. So she's, I would say, quite a little bit disturbed and shaken up by what happened, by that terrible loss for her. So sending her lots of love. Be there for her. Show her how much you love her and how much she is loved, and how spirit loves her. And life and death is a change of energy, a shift, but it's not really, death isn't final. It's just a transition into spirit. So we don't need to be too serious about it. We can just process it in our own ways and kind of navigate it with sensitivity, Amantha. So that's what I get. She's feeling a little bit agitated or anxious, I would say. So just work with that. He did drown, but it was thrown off because how did she know he drowned? So she's seeing that. She's seeing that because I just feel like she's seeing what happened, but it's her way of processing it. So so there's a literal element, and then there's like, why is she seeing that? What is happening for her? So she's seeing it and processing her loss. And Amantha says she's there. Marquee. So what do we do when gas and oil are gone? Well, Marianne, there are technologies, Tesla type technologies being worked on. Fusion, I think it's called fission. It's called 0 point energies. We are working through those. There are breakthroughs happening. There are alternatives. But we do have a lot of gas and oil, by the way. So it's not really, we could continue with that for a while, but we're not going to. The issue is, a lot of the issue is how we manage and protect and nurture the planet energetically. It's not just sort of external cosmetic procedural or practices. It's how we are we loving and nurturing the earth mother, and that's a big one. Are we loving and protecting, nurturing the earth mother, connecting to her? She works as a kind of synthesis, as a kind of concert. I think I was talking about the conductor. The force is synthesis of energies, a synthesis of the pulse of Mother Earth is alive, and it works with sun and water. Sun and water are the most powerful life forces on the planet, sun and water. And it uses carbon dioxide kind of as a material, as a fuel. But in terms of limits, there are limits in limited resources, are called limited results. There are limits, but a lot of things do resurrect, or they do regenerate. So there's a regenerative aspect, but I do see new energies being, new technologies being used, essentially kind of like a free energy type device, and plasma. I feel like plasma will be this abundant energy form, because energy is everywhere. We just, everything is energy. So how can there be a limit, or how can this be limited? So our technologies are being upgraded, whether it be energy, healthcare, technology. These things are moving forward. So that's how I see it, Marianne. Plasma. Marky's still there. Mentha says thank you. So Marky, where were you? How is my daughter? How much will my daughter get? I have a question, or maybe two. How's John feeling? Okay. So John, is that okay? Let's just tune in. There is a sadness in not being there for your daughter. So there's a sense of sadness of not being there for your daughter, yet it's almost like he's there for her. He's there for her in spirit. So he is around her, but there's a sense of disappointment, sadness. It is a soul contract that's coming out. So the soul contract is being processed, it is being upgraded, it is being honored. So whatever's happening, know that it is an agreement, it is a contract, it is there for learning, for lessons, for growth, for bringing a sense of harmony to the whole. If that makes sense, because there's like, well, what does God need any of this? It's one force is a type of co-creating pattern of nature, energy that's in all consciousness, that surpasses everything and is within everything. So that signature is within all of life forms, all of the dramas or the activities of people in life and beyond life. So the pattern is within all. He's not her dad, he's alive, but we don't talk. The feeling is sadness, Marky. So I don't know what, I'm not quite sure what the feel like me and him are done. Is just, so please, don't get into social media. That's not really, that's not life. It's just something, we're 2026 and it's something we're playing with at the moment. But do you ever dream of social media? Without social media, the things that are important to you, are they in social media? Are they represented in social media? So go a little bit deeper, Marky, and don't look to social media as some sort of arbiter. When relationships end, it's usually the contract is over. And when the contract's over, it's like it's over. So there's no coming back. Sometimes there is room to come back to old relationships and revisit them. Usually what we see is a kind of like a dwindling energy, or the energy's not really there anymore. We see, oh, okay, well, there's a reason why that relationship ended. There's no need to go back to it. So part of your insecurity is not coming fully into the present and believing in new life, in new opportunity, in new relationships. So open your heart to new. And sometimes we just need to let go of the old. We need to cut cords and move on. So let go, Marky. Don't keep holding on. And it's natural as human beings to hold on to the familiar, to keep a grip on things that we had in the past. I do it as well. All right, I am back. Apologies for leaving everyone. And Marky says, no, they're not, but we don't talk. I'm wondering, is this done? So you keep asking questions, let it go, let people move on and move on. Trust that you will be guided, that things will, you are supported, you are loved. You don't need the past. It's history. So, let go of these ideas. Does he miss me? That kind of thing. It's not serving you, Marky. It's bringing you down, and it's taking you backwards. And that's meant with love. Is May holding something special for me, or do I need to create it? So Marianne's asking about the month ahead, and I do see some travel. Let's have a look for you, Marianne, for me. I feel like there's a little bit of should I go left, should I go right energy. You can think of it as a little bit of indecision. So it's going to help you just to contemplate, meditate on what's really important here. There are an array of options, different activities. So there is this kind of diversity of experience in May. And it's like you're kind of thinking, collecting your thoughts, thinking about how to progress. So I would say it's a little bit of everything in May. And let's pick from the Starseed article. And this is the broad takeaway here is navigate the ship. Don't just go in different directions. Kind of go, well, this is important to me, and I'm going to go there. I'm going to direct my sails. I'm going to push forward in that direction. So it is a kind of a little bit of an adventurous thing, energetic, but it's saying galvanize your forces and direct your energies. So that is the message coming through, Marianne. I am just going to get a little dog. I'm going to get the dog. There's two dogs. We have two little dogs. Yeah, so my door was closed. So I just got the dogs in there around. All right. So anyone else online have any questions and would like to explore any concept? We are always here to connect and understand that supporting each other is how we make a better world. Supporting each other is how we make a better world. I did dream about traveling on a bus recently. I feel like I was related to something in the past, Marianne. So often our dreams, we are processing things in our subconscious mind, things that happened to us already. So it's more past focus. There are elements of precognition that we experience in dreams as well, but mostly it's processing things that we already experienced, remembering things and bringing to our attention things that we've already experienced. So, Marianne, galvanize your forces. That's the message. You know. All right. So, Kimmy. We've got a Kimmy there. We've got Marky. We've got Amantha. And Amantha says, thank you. I've got these beautiful creatures here. You can't see them, but they are here to support the energy, to collaborate with the show, and to dance with the frequency, dance with the energy. So I was thinking about, the complexity of human experience and what is a human being, and we certainly think of celebrities, and sometimes people can be very dismissive, very judgmental, but also even if someone did something dark, and I think we've all done something in our lives that we feel a bit of shame about. We've all made mistakes. I guess it's just what level are those mistakes, and there are some dark deeds that people do which are not excusable, that are horrible things that do happen within humanity. However, underneath this action is still a human being, and the human being is complex, and it's not. I think people just have this label that they throw out, and it becomes like that person is poison, and that person is an energetic being, a physical body, a soul, a part of the divine consciousness, the one force, the one source. And even the dark things are part of that soul contract. So sometimes people are contracted to do bad things as part of their purpose in their incarnation. So they're not. It's not to justify what they're doing or excuse what they're doing. It's just to say that was their purpose. That they are living their purpose. We are all living our purpose, and so labeling doesn't seem to help us much. We do need some labels that can be really useful, but remember, there's a human being behind each label, and the human being is not. How do you sum up a human being? There's so much experience. How did their personality emerge? But they're not just their personality, they're always something beyond personality. And people can do the most awful things, but behind that is a soul. Within that, beyond that is a soul. So remember, each person has a soul, and they may be the externally whatever, they may be the giant, they may be the whatever role they're playing, the prostitute, the thief, the father, the mother, daughter, the son. So many identities and label things we start to carry. We start to collect identities and collect roles that we play. But beyond all of that, beyond whatever's on the external, what we look like, our ethnicity, religion, creed, color of our skin, nationhood, race, gender, our sexuality, whatever these things are, it's still only externalized expressions of who we are. Beyond that, we are a soul, and the soul is something sacred, something limitless, something infinite that touches the one force, the one source. So even when someone does something horrible, have a little kindness in your heart for them. Have a little forgiveness in your heart for them. Have a little acknowledgement of the consciousness that they are, the soul that they are, and the human qualities, the human aspects of them. Because the destructive thing people do is dehumanize people. They reduce them to a label. And those labels are often something like racist. And then the person is like, just a word, just a label, and it's kind of not really very helpful. That person will be basing their behavior often on their life experiences, and we all come to life with a certain openness, naivety, and an ignorance. Be kind to each person. They all come from source, and they all have a soul. All right, so please do like and share the show if you appreciate the content. That is always much appreciated. I am going to pick a card from the Buddhism Oracle deck, which always brings us some kind of wisdom. There wasn't much in my head when I was choosing a card from the Oracle deck, but what the card has produced is patience. The message of patience. At the end of the way is freedom. Till then, patience. So until we, I guess, transcend or surpass all consciousness or all labels or all descriptions or all ideas, till then, have patience. And there's something noble, there's something about patience cultivating a beautiful quality within us, implying that everything is possible in the timelessness of space and being. And at a deep knowingness, we can be reminded that nothing really fails. It's only our impatience that tells us that we haven't got something, or we didn't achieve something, or we didn't get what we wanted to get. So step into the timelessness, step into the space beyond the space and time, the consciousness beyond space and time. And just checking on the dogs. They are seemingly well. This tea got pretty cold. A little bit of cold tea. And picking from the Starseed Oracle deck, which looks like that, the Starseed Oracle deck. Rebecca Campbell, artwork by Daniela Knoll. Daniela Knoll. Starseed Oracle. Okay. Speaking of Buddhist things, Sri Lanka is having its walk of peace, same monks from the last walk, and Aloka the dog is with them too. It's a bigger response than the last walk. So yeah, that's really special. Sri Lanka is having a walk of peace. That's something exciting. Thank you for sharing, Marianne. I really appreciate that. What do you feel about it? I feel like it's pioneering on the forefront the idea of acts of kindness, uplifting the collective energy. The card that has come out over here from the Starseed Oracle deck is to embrace your uniqueness, to understand that, like every snowflake is unique, every human being is different. Each one of us has a different parenting, different place in the home, grew up in different places, different formulation of our consciousness, different formulation of our personality or identity. And we're not here to be like other people. We're here to be like ourselves. And we're not here to be, popular with everyone. We're here to face the direction of our soul contract, of what we are here to enact, what we are here to live out and be. But that is a message from the Starseed Oracle. All right, any questions, any comments? I'm here with you live, so everything is appreciated with discernment. Not everything is really appreciated, but some discernment there. We do like to harness the depth of the heart, the energy of the heart. Whenever we hold this communion, hold this sacred space. And how do we enter sacred space? It's about holding space for the sacred. We cannot force, we cannot push. There's a sense of feminine surrender, a sense of being open. And when you open, things start to fall into the spaces, into the place, into the belonging. Proving peace is possible. The road is lined with banana leaves. The road is being wet ahead of the monks. Bigger crowd. So Sri Lanka has a large Buddhist community. I've been to Sri Lanka. People are receptive to spirituality. They're receptive to understanding that we are small parts of this whole. And the doggy wants to go out. Come on, come on, come on. He's staring at me. So thank you for sharing, Marianne. Proving peace is possible. The road is lined with banana leaves. Can you hear the dog? So important to trust the timing and understand that nothing is running out. Everyone's on their own timeline, on their own journey. So it links to the concept of patience I was talking about before. Come on. He's barking. Come on. Come on. He wants some attention. So anyone have any thoughts to share? Any questions they would like to ask? How do you open up a sacred space? How do you invite in a sacred space? Is there a ritual you do? Is there a type of consciousness that you cultivate? Is there a sense of surrender, of opening to thoughts, energy, inviting in guides, angels, archangels, inviting them in to share their message, to share their energy? Can we do this? Can we do this in daily life? Can we do this in everyday life? In everyday mundane activities? Can we invite sacred energies in, invite in a sacred space, or is this something that requires a gatekeeper, harbinger, a person of rank, like a priest or something along those lines? Do we need those kind of gatekeepers? Do they help generate the energy? I guess it depends on the person and their qualities. And each tradition is a little bit different. And each tradition has a valid pathway to source energy towards awakening. And often when we go beyond tradition, when we go beyond ritual, when we go beyond ideas, we open ourselves to the void, the space that is beyond labels, the emptiness that is beyond emptiness, or beyond the idea of emptiness, to be more specific. It's pure spaciousness. It's pure spaciousness without any labels. So that's what it's all about: exploration and elevating our consciousness, raising our vibration, generating and sharing peace with the world, and making the earth a better place, leaving the earth better than when we were first born, leaving this planet better than when we arrived on the planet. So that can be the legacy to aim towards, our contribution. Daily at 11 minutes past any hour, I say hello to cousin Joe. 11 is our special number. That is when he preferred to speak to me, just because he joined me on 9/11. So 11 minutes past any hour, say hello. So that's really special, Marianne. Thank you for sharing that. When I read that, I'm wondering about both 9/11 and 11/11. I get a lot of connection, synchronicity at 11/11 personally, which is not connected to 9/11. It's really like a sacred space opening for me, connection to source energy at 11/11, confirmation that things are unfolding in the best possible way, that I am on target, that I am connected to source energy. Thank you for sharing, Marianne. And may we send Joe lots and lots of peace. Peace is possible, but the road is lined with banana leaves. I like that, Marianne. It's really accurate. Well, it has been a joy being with you today, and I'm going to send you all much love, much light, much encouragement to bring the sacred into your everyday life, raise the vibration of day-to-day activities, and they can seem mundane, but remember, we can always generate a sacred recollection, a sacred and poignant vibration. He was a military pilot. He was bringing souls home that day. So sending a special message to Joe. And Stu says, thanks, Stu. Thanks for the message. Thanks for being there. Wishing you a beautiful night and a beautiful rest, and always being with us in love. And a shout out to the monks in Sri Lanka and to Aloko, the dog that's with them, sending them lots of love. And may their message penetrate, may their message resonate with people and raise the vibration of humanity. So again, another week has swept by, and wishing everyone a beautiful night, a beautiful day ahead. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, coming to you with a message of peace, with a message of harmony, balance, and good spirit. A kiss, a hug, and a heart out to all of you across the globe, coming to you live from Australia and sending you away. Au revoir. See you again next time, next week. Bye.